Welcome to the Abundance Hack Podcast, where we want to inspire you to push past your blocks, limiting beliefs, and comfort zone to live a confident, happy, and fulfilling life. I am your host, Niajae, influencer, motivational speaker, and boss babe. Every time you hit subscribe or leave a 5-star rating, I do my happy dance. What's up, guys? Thank you for watching or listening to the Abundance Hack Podcast. I am joined by the amazing Phil McCarthy. And we actually crossed paths at Matt Maddox's mastermind. And Noah, which is my super awesome Facebook ad guy, he said, you should interview Phil. So I actually don't know much about him, and I am learning everything as you guys are hearing it. So let's dive in.
Could be horrible.
It could be. You never know.
Complete opposite, baby.
So first tell us, who are you? Who is Phil McCarthy?
Yeah, so I want to thank you, for having me on. Appreciate it. Love the hair. Love your energy. Love your style, girl. You're a beast. My name's Phil McCarthy. I'm from Philadelphia. I grew up and was raised in Philadelphia. I'm 32 years old. And I'm just a dude. I'm just a regular guy, right, that has learned that we all as individuals have a purpose, and we must tap into that purpose, and it must be nourished and cultivated and sculpted just like anything that you want to grow that's beautiful. And you really, to get yourself on that mission, on that path, for me it took a certain set of actions and thought processes, and that's who I am. I'm a dude that's doing my best to give back, because at one time in my life I had people that were giving back to me. Yeah. I
love it. So before we dive into that, because I love everything that you said, what does abundance mean to you?
Abundance, I think it's kind of so when people think of the word abundance, I kind of think it's generic to a degree, but everybody can interpret it just like anything in their own way, because everything is perspective, right? To me, abundance is just fulfillment in everything, in everything. It's a sense of a feeling. It's not even a word. It's not even, you could put words behind it to make it more powerful, but to me, abundance is a sense of fulfillment in every aspect of life. Straight up happiness, a lack of negative emotions, and just good shit, baby.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. All right, so you mentioned a lot of powerful things. So purpose is something that I think is really, really huge right now. So how does one find their purpose? And how did you find your purpose?
Yeah, it's a great question. So I think purpose too, a lot of people will talk about purpose. I have one buddy, and people have things, they're known for that, Niajae's purple hair, people are known for certain things, Tony Robbins is known for what he's known for. I think that purpose is super generic and hard to talk about. I mean, not hard to talk about, but it's hard to be find your purpose. Oh, here, it's so blah blah, cliche bullshit. Can I curse?
Of course.
Okay. So it's so generic and it's just cliche, and it doesn't really give someone direction, especially they're lost for a reason, right? So what I believe in and what I have literally done, I don't like to talk about things unless I've implemented them and I've literally experienced it myself, because there's too much of that out there,
Oh, yeah.
Energy. I believe that energy is amazing. Abundance is energy, right? It's all energy. This microphone, all this shit is energy. This coffee is energy, And when you can get yourself into the most energetic state, the most creative state, that's nourishing, that's nurturing, that's cultivating, that's making you run at your optimum potential and what you were designed on this earth for. By default, it'll lead you to your purpose. By default, it'll lead you to your purpose. If you can nurture and nourish your energy into you as an individual, whatever feeds you as an individual, you will find your purpose by default. Now it's when you are numbing and you are taking away from your soul, and when you're, that's the thing in this world today, there's so many friggin', mind-numbing, things out there, Netflix, and, drugs, and alcohol, and, TV, people, here's the thing, I can't blame anybody. They're conditioned and trained to not be nourished, and don't even realize it. But get yourself around those people. Understand what it is. Put your body, put your vehicle. This is just a vehicle. That's all I think. And like I can accessorize my vehicle, right? Just like when I go buy a car, Mercedes, I like the AMG, baby. I want the supercharger, I want the twin turbos, I want the wheels. You know, like you're accessorizing your vehicle. You got your purple hair. I accessorize my vehicle. I wear my watches, like so. But here's the deal: so many people are worried about accessorizing their fucking vehicles. Like this is the most important vehicle you have. Accessorize this thing first. Build this thing first. By default, all that other stuff will just show and come. And I live that too. I used to just buy cars and, you know, thinking like that would fill things missing inside and make me feel good. And it didn't. It did for like 2 weeks.
Yeah, it's a temporary thing.
Yeah, it's so temporary, you know? So like get yourself into an energetic state. Do what makes you feel good. For me, the gym. I don't care who you are, you need to exercise.
Yes.
You need to exercise. You must exercise. We are human beings. We are designed to move. We have 1 million movable joints. We have over 650 muscles in the body. Like, we're designed to move. If you don't use something for what it's designed for, it's useless, hence purposeless. You know? So get yourself into an energetic state. Super easy. Super easy. Anybody can think back to a time where they felt in their most abundant state, when they were the happiest. That's what abundance is. It's just a feeling. So get yourself, what did you do? Maybe you like golfing. Maybe, you know, and it's not, and you have to also associate it with, well, did it make me feel good in the moment? Meaning like when you weight train, it hurts. Like I actually learned to love it, but it hurts. Like you sweat, your muscles hurt. It's kind of painful, but it leads to a lasting like sense of fulfillment. So I've learned to trade short-term satisfactions for long-term gratifications. And when you can do that, down the road, you know, you live a more fulfilling life. You're closer to your purpose. You're leading more of like a mission-based like mindset, you know? And yeah, I could just keep rambling, girl.
Well, how did you find your purpose? Like your personal story, like, or what was there a challenge?
Yeah, no, that's terrific. It's terrific. So yeah, like, and that's the thing. It goes back to numbing and instant gratification in the world we live in today. You know, people will look at me and think like, you know, because I'm in shape and I'm whatever and I'm darker skinned, they'll judge me, right? And think I'm this or I'm that. But really, I had to build myself into this confident person today. I had to build myself into, like, just like I didn't have muscles, I didn't have a mindset that made me capable and confident to, you know, build businesses and impact people and really impact my life and like be a different person. So when I was younger, I was super insecure. I had a super crazy lack of self-confidence. I would not talk to girls. I just was like friggin' just inside like hurting, right? And I just didn't have things or people there to help me nourish, and I didn't know what to do. Just like today in the world, like when your confidence and self-esteem is backed by like likes and comments and stuff, it's really hard for young kids today, especially. And I didn't even have half of the stuff. I mean, it's not like I'm old, but you know, I think MySpace just came out when I was like in high school, and I didn't even use it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But so I turned to things that made me feel good in the moment. You know, I had my first drink when I was 13. Like, and everyone can relate to this to a degree. You know, that's why things just keep statistically increasing in the country. But before I knew it, I was like addicted. I was addicted to drugs. I was hooked on drugs. I was a full-blown drug addict. At 18, I got like a union job. I was literally lucky to get like a union job and like make decent money for an 18-year-old kid. And it's just like I thought I was the man, you know? I was making like $60K, big deal. And like I go buy like this older Mercedes and I'm running around, I'm spending money, I'm partying on the weekends, and I'm just full blown out on drugs. I lose my job, I struggled for like 6 years. So I could go like crazy into the story, but we're just gonna get to like the pain points, right? The powerful points where like it was just sad, miserable, just buying whatever I could buy to make myself feel good, buying more drugs to numb the pain. Because what happens when you give that when we put that in ourselves, anything, gambling, going back, that's why people go back to past relationships that they know weren't good for them. With an ex, with a boyfriend or girlfriend, like anything. That's why we go back to things that weren't good for us. We know consciously weren't good for us because it releases chemicals. Thoughts literally release chemicals. So we have happy chemicals, and they're called EDSO, and there's way more than this, but endorphins, dopamine, serotonin, oxytocin, and these are all naturally produced chemicals. These are all chemicals that drugs release when you do them, that alcohol releases when you do it, except when you release it in a positive manner, there's really no like negative. Like you drink, you're hungover, your whole body's like messed up, and you got to recalibrate for days, you know. So I was just taking things and doing things to artificially release them instead of inside releasing them, working to release them. So when I didn't have them, now my body has stopped production of them naturally.
Yeah.
So it's like this crazy whirlwind and just destruction. And I'm laying on my floor. I'm in an apartment. I have no electricity, no running water. I couldn't pay my bills. I had this dog. I was sleeping in the living room. I don't know why. I had a mattress in the damn living room. There was a bedroom in the back. I don't know what I was doing. But it was sad. And I remember there's like this bottle of pills like from the doctor. I'm going to take this whole damn bottle. I'm like, I'm fucking done. I had enough. There's no hope. There's no point. I'm just fucking miserable and disgusted. And it'll be way easier to just, you know, again, looking for a shortcut, looking for an easy road, looking for a quick fix because I was weak. I was fucking weak, you know? And that's the thing. Like, when you're going through this shit, you have to be able to admit it. You have to break down. You have to let go of your ego. You have to, if you don't, you're going to constantly be battling and just break down. Let it go. Shut up. And I remember, like, for months before that, I wanted to, like, change my life. I wanted to, like, get off the drugs, but I was so distraught and destroyed. Your nerves are shot. Your receptors, your firing, your wiring is destroyed to a degree. You can't even think straight. I couldn't even, so what I would think made sense, people would be like, you're crazy, you know? I'm like, but does it make sense? They're like, no, it doesn't make sense. You're not thinking right, you know? So I had the want and desire to change my life before, like, I went into the rehab. I just didn't know what to do, right? Just like people don't know how to find their purpose. So doors are placed in front of us every day. Like, a door's placed in front of people right now. Someone's probably going through this, and they are more than welcome to reach out to me, because now it's like my mission where they know someone. Like, I was on the plane, someone was reading my book, and she's like, I had a sister that struggled with addiction. I gave her the book to read because she's just sitting there, she forgot a book. And I'm like, yeah, everyone has it's impacted their life in some way, from a family member or themselves, you know? So, like, people are just off the beaten path. They don't know what to do, you know? But doors are placed in front of us. People are placed in front of us. Opportunities and things. And you got to man up, ball up, woman up, shut up, suck it up, and fucking do it. Like, when that door's there, just open the door and then walk through the door.
Yeah.
So that's good. Yeah.
So what would you say that point where you were just sitting on the floor?
Yeah.
And you had to pick yourself up?
Yeah.
What was the thought
That's
that
great.
like?
I ran over that. So I looked at my dog. I had this like pit bull. I still have him. He's like 12 now. Yeah, he's a blue pit bull. He's just like a Staffordshire Terrier. He's just, and you know, they get like such a bad rap, but anyone that knows them, they're amazing. Like, labs and like golden retrievers have more bites in the U.S. than those dogs, you know? But they like look the part. Again, it goes back to me. People will look at me and judge me because of a look, you know?
Yes.
Same thing with the dogs, you know? So it just goes to show. It's actually kind of funny. So I'm looking at him, and some people might think it's silly. A lot of people will 100% get it and agree. But I'm looking at him, I'm like, if I take my life, if I do this, who's going to take care of him? Because as I was going through all, like, those pains for those months or whatever, I might have had him for like a year. He was pretty young. Like, he was there. So, like, as I would cry myself to sleep at nights, you know, before I went into the rehab, because I was miserable and distraught, like, and just broken, I can remember, like, crying on the floor, you know? And he was there. He was there, you know? Like, I didn't go to my mom and talk to her. I didn't talk to anybody. A lot of people, they didn't leave me because I left them, but a lot of people were just out of my life, you know, so I didn't really have a whole lot. And I still had that ego and pride as a man. Like, I knew I was an asshole, so I would just suck it up and be in pain by myself. But he was always there. And I'm like, if I take my life, who's going to take care of him? But what it really did was it started a spiral of thoughts. And then it made me think about my mother. Because there was just a few people, like, I still cared about. And, like my mother, like, even though she, you know, stayed detached from me to a degree, she would come by every 2 weeks and check on me and stuff. You know what I mean? Like, I mean, it was bad. It was like, I was full blown, like, fuck. And so, like, it made me think about her. And then it made me think, like, then I can remember these thoughts, even though, like, I've destroyed, like, I think subconsciously I have detached from a lot of those thoughts back then. I need to pull them back to remember them, to be able to share the stories with people. But because they were so painful, I've detached from them to a degree. But you know, it started like the whirlwind of like her over my grave, you know, the funeral, my family, like, and them just being like, he could have done this, he was this, and like, who the fuck, like, are you really that weak, bro? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, it just started a whirlwind of thoughts. I don't know exactly what happened, you know, God, the universe, karma, shit. Something happened the next day. I got a phone call. I didn't do it. I just cried like a baby again. The next day I get a phone call and says, if I set you up with a rehab, will you go? And I remember, like, obviously I knew, right? 100% knew I needed this. Knew this was the best thing I could possibly do, but was so scared, right? So I tell people, if it scares you and if it excites you, if it's something that you have this energetic emotion, you can't even really put into words, like, what it is, you must do it. That's going to lead you to your purpose, to your passion. Like, if it was easy, everyone would have Lamborghinis and six-packs. And they fucking don't. And that's because it's hard, because it takes a real man, or it takes a real woman. It takes a real alpha. It takes a real leader. No matter how weak and broken you are, it's that moment. It's that decisive, committed decision that says, I am like somebody. You know, it's not literally what you're doing right now. It's that. It was that. You know what I mean? So, and it's that for you. Like, who knows what it could be? It could literally be, you know, you're working. Me and you did talk a little bit last night. You said you had a job and you didn't really start to crazy killing business until you committed and left. Like, that's scary as shit for most people. I know people, they got kids, man. They're like, oh man, for me to just leave. Even if they have some money to sit on, that like frightens the shit out of them.
Yeah.
But I can guarantee you, if they don't, they'll never fucking really make it.
Yeah.
You know, you have to fully commit. It's gotta be scary. It's gotta be hard. Literally ask for it. Ask for it. It will change you. It will make you become that person deserving of that shit you say you want so bad.
Yeah.
So
people are afraid to take that leap.
yeah, in anything.
Yeah.
In anything. But like, it's a must. You can't like soar until you leap, till you jump. You know? So I did it. I remember I did. I just, you know, I said, yes, I'll fucking go. I had to wait till like the weekend. I stayed at my pop's place, you know, because they were like, we're going to just hold on to you for a couple of days just in case.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
and I was in it for 16 days, and I remember walking out, looking at the doors, and saying, I'm never going back there. And all I knew was I had to do everything opposite of what I was doing. And it's crazy because I didn't have any mentors. Now I have all these mentors and all these business people that I fuck with, connect with, and like I help them and they help me, and like I'll put my ego aside and learn. But like then I had nobody. Nobody to say, you need to read. You need to release the chemicals that your body's not releasing now. Because that's one of the main big reasons people will relapse. It's one of the main big reasons people will go back to a relationship. That's why they tell you when you break up, go hang out with your friends. Go out, get up, go do things. There's scientific reasons. There's chemical releases. It's deeper than just like, oh, here it is. I like to know why, so I studied. I was like, you gotta do everything opposite. And the desire and the want was strong enough. See, when you associate more pain with where you are today than the pain of actually doing the work, then you'll fucking make it. You know, then you'll make it. I associated, like, I never changed. I talked to so many people, and they want to, like, get in shape, or they want to do this. They have this belly, or, like, I'm like, don't you feel like shit? They're like, yeah. I'm like, do the work. They're like, yeah. But they don't do it, right? That's because they associate more pain with the work than where they are today. And the deal is, in society, I can just keep rolling off into all things.
No, that's so powerful, though. It's so
Yeah.
powerful. Yeah.
I can just keep rolling off into all stuff. So just pull me back if you need to. But so yeah, I just put some due diligence in and put some time, and I also knew that I didn't appreciate anything. You know, when you want things instantly, you have a lack. I guarantee you, for people who run off instant gratifications, they have a lack of appreciations, and they're just looking for selfish antidotes.
I feel like that's so much of society today.
Yeah,
Think about, like, we have Amazon Prime. Anything you want, you can have in 2 days.
Yeah, that's
So
it.
like,
Yep.
so we don't have as much gratitude and appreciation
Yeah.
these days, and
Yeah.
I think that contributes to why so many people are suffering in silence, and so many people
Yeah,
have
yeah, yeah.
voids
Yeah.
because of that.
That's why I feel like this is my thing. I have to like grab people, mainly like young dudes, because I can relate to them. And girls, like I work with women and stuff, but like just dudes, you know, like it's like that's me, that's my people, you know, like that's young guys, 18 to 35. I found like, and I picked the hardest like group, you know, like you have men, you have women essentially. women are much more agreeable than men. Men are much more disagreeable. Like, it's just a known fact. Like, look at jails. 80% of people in jails are men. They're fucking stubborn. They think it's my. Like, I picked a really good one. But I feel like I can handle it, you know, because I've been built to be able to. It's like training. It's like training. That's why I love the gym. It's so correlative with life. Like, you train a muscle to grow and become stronger. But only if you train it properly will it do so. And then you can lift more weight. And it's the same thing in life. You know, the more you've been through, and when you actually take those pains and you put them forward, and you put action behind them, you become more capable and can handle more.
Yes, I love it. Is imposter syndrome holding you back from taking your business or life to the next level? Is your upper limit preventing you from achieving the success you truly desire and deserve? Because you do deserve an abundant life. Go to Niajae.com/transcend to register for my exclusive masterclass, Transcend Your Upper Limits. Learn how to navigate through the hurdles on the way to the success, the happiness, and the fulfillment you desire. That's Niajae.com/transcend, Niajae.com. It's time to transcend your upper limit. So you went to rehab, you pulled yourself together, you started a business, so you train people now, and then you wrote a book.
I wrote a book.
What's the name of your book?
I did a couple things, So, one thing I want to say, I got to go back a little bit.
Okay.
I took responsibility.
Yes.
I took responsibility.
That's huge.
That was the super most important thing. You know, I didn't appreciate things, so I would work for people for free. That anyone who ever did any right by me, was ever there for me in any way, I'd work for them for free. Cut their lawns or their rental properties, clean their cars. I had a part-time job. I was getting a little bit of unemployment. I was surviving. I moved back in with my mother. I struggled. I had to put my pride aside. I had to take full responsibility. I had to get myself out of that negative environment. Anyone watching this, and whoever's going through whatever, friends, like, you have to leave people behind, you know? And people struggle so much with that, which honestly blows my mind. I think because of the desperation and the situation I was in, the stronger the emotional potion, the more attached you'll be to the cause, which means the more attached you'll be to a solution. You see what I'm saying? So, like, no matter what you're going through, if you're not able to leave, like, certain people behind in your life, this is what I like to know, like, whys. Like, I need to know, like, aligners, one things that I can attach to something, because I'll be more inclined to apply it. So, like, I learned that if I wasn't able to leave them behind, then I'm going to leave behind the person that I want to become, you know? And
that's so powerful. Say that again. Say that again.
If you're not able to leave certain people in your life behind, you're going to leave behind the person you're meant to be.
So good.
Yeah, I can say it another way if you want to. So like, but it's like when you think about it like that, and you think about your outcomes are huge. Like, I tell people all the time, like, what's your outcome? Well, what do you want to do? What do you want to build? Who do you want to be? What do you want to look like? Who do you want your environment to be around? Where do you want to live? Okay, so what actions would it take to get there? It wouldn't take hanging out with these dudes, because they're telling you to fucking do drugs, or they're taking your time and putting it into, like, video games, or, like, these dudes are like, hey bro, like, you should read this book. It changed my thinking. You know what I mean? Like, super important. So I took responsibility. I worked for people because I learned that if I could appreciate nothing, meaning making no money, and I would just retrain my brain, rewire my brain. I reprogrammed my brain. We're a fucking computer, you know, and we're a series of inputs and outputs, and we decide what we hold on to and keep, and we decide what we let go, and we decide what runs up here. And I reprogrammed my shit. That's what I mean by, like, something told me to do this, do that, train, read, study, like the higher power universe, like something that said, you're going to do this. And then along the way, I was nurturing, right? I'm reading. That's what nurturing is. You know, watering, I'm training, I'm working out, I'm releasing chemicals. And I just built myself into a person who could appreciate nothing, take full responsibility. Then I was even offered, like, my union job back, you know, like 6 months, a year in. I didn't take any of that back. So I did this and trained physically and mentally for like 2 years. And then I took my 6-figure job back. Within that year, reached to the top of the pay. I was making like 120. And I was now a foreman and running jobs. And I was like, is this it? Is this it? Like, I'm 27 or 28. Like, I'm done? Like, I'll make another $1.50 an hour because the economy increases. And, like, I don't even love the environment. The people have bad knees, their backs are shot, they're grumpy as hell, and you know, they loved coming to work because they got time away from their wives, you know? Like, I was like, I don't want any of that. I want to be, like, passionate and infatuated with the person I'm with. I want to love what I do, the people I'm around, and, like, I'm gonna end up with these motherfuckers. I don't want to, but I already felt pain. That's why I like pain. That's why I like when I meet people and I associate with people. When they tell me a painful story, I'm like, oh, I like you. I know right away I like you because there's depth to them.
Yes.
There's perspective. There's comparison.
Yes.
You know, and it takes, everything leaves clues. It only takes seconds to determine if there's someone who used the pain to nurture their process or they use the pain to do more drugs. It's not hard to find that, you know, as someone who's aware. So, like, I love that stuff. But here I go again on another rant. But, yeah, man, I started a t-shirt business. I wanted to leave that 6-figure job, but I wanted to replace the income first. You know, a lot of people say, take a hit, you know, blah, blah, blah. But I was like, I know I can. You know, I just have to find another vehicle. I need to create leverage. So I found a network marketing company, and I, like, killed it in that. And so I left. In, like, 4 months, the network marketing company left. Rose to the top of the network marketing company in record time. And, yeah, now here we are today. I wrote a book with the Maddox boys. And,
What's the name of the book?
Simply Fit.
Simply Fit.
I got one in the back. Hang on. Got one right here. I think. Boom. You know what? I'm gonna give you one, girl. I'm gonna give you this one.
Oh,
Boom, baby.
cute.
Yeah, it's cute. It's super cute. All right, so like, and when it comes to this stuff, I think everything's super important. So it's a little 4x6 booklet, okay, and it's called Simply Fit: The Ultimate Guide to Your Physical and Mental Six-Pack. But like, people think like it's only 62 pages, but it's fire. It's fire. Like, there's just value in this little fucker, you know?
Yeah.
And I spent a lot of time on it. Like, if I were to rewrite it now, I could have it done in a day because I understand, you know, just like anything. Like, you know, I won't speak on something I haven't done. Like, just do it before you complain. Like, do it, learn. You'll be real good at it. You know what I mean? Repetition is the key to results.
Yeah.
So now I can literally write this book in a day with the cover, have my graphic, but I probably got like 120 hours in this little thing. Because I would go back, I'm an over-deliverer, I'm a freak. I'd go back, you know, I'd change the beginning. I had to make the beginning like fire and, you know, just, I wanted to be loaded with stuff. So that's like kind of super important to me because just like this like podcast, you know, I try and get a lot of little nuggets in and I try and bring a lot of little value because there's only so much time and, you know, when you really want to impact people, you have to like have an over-deliver expectation. You know, there's so many people out there trying to do things. Why should they listen to me? Why? I have to earn their time and attention. And I better bring a ton of value to them, you know? So anything I do, I fucking over-deliver on.
All right, so let's bring it back to abundance, an abundant life. So you've had some really low lows, and you pulled yourself up. And what I love about the story that you just told is you had this 6-figure job, and you're like, all right, I'm doing it.
Yeah.
But you still strived for more. So I think a lot of people plateau.
Yeah.
And they get stagnant.
Yeah.
And they're just like, okay, this is all life has to live. But you push past that, and you're like, there's even more for me to deliver, more value for me to give this world.
Yeah.
So what was your thought process there?
I mean, I think what you're really getting at is how can people interpret this into their lives and use it is what I think. Like, it's pretty fucking simple. Raise your standards and you will raise your results.
I love that.
You know, and it comes back to perspective. Like, I feel like I like just have it figured out down to the core. I feel like, you know, like, but like so simplified. Like, we are driven and backed by what we value and believe. So like in this book, a quick story, my step-pop, he was an alcoholic. He didn't get his shit like done until 44 years old. Okay, that's why like I'm blessed. I was 24, you know, and I'm no saint, trust me. But you know, I got on the right path at 24. He wasn't until 44. It wasn't until what he really valued and believed was threatened, which was his job, that he was like, I'm done. You know, because he's been through, anyone who struggled with anything understands they keep doing it again. They're like, oh, I'm not doing it again. The pain's, but then, you know, I'm not doing it again. Next weekend comes. You know, the people, the young guys, they'll drink and get hammered on the weekend. The girls, they'll drink, they'll get hammered. They're like, I feel horrible. I'm not doing it again. It's like, then they recover, their perspective changes come Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and they are like, it's Friday, and their friends are pressuring them, they do it again, you know? So not until your values and beliefs are really pushed do you start to have that strength of an emotional person. Do you start to really attach yourself to the cause? So he valued his job. And when that was threatened, he was like, I'm getting my shit together. So that is backed by perspective. So, perspective determines your outcome. So, like, a good analogy is like, that I think, because I want to make things relatable for people. Like, so Phil, who's making $120,000 a year, if you put $1 million in his bank account, he would be like, yo, I'm fucking rich. Like, I'm set, baby, I'm good. Like, whatever. But if you take Jeff Bezos or any of these beasts, like tycoons, and you take their shit away from them and you put $1 million, they're bankrupt. They're like bankrupt as fuck. Their perspective and my perspective are different. So why can't you just think on a different level? Change your perspective. Become embarrassed. Like, people run away from embarrassment. Like, embarrassment. Because embarrassment leads to desperation. That's where you cannot be weak. You have to see it for what it is. You have to accept it for what it is and realize that the negative things, the things that hurt, like, this is a vehicle, and just like your vehicle has fucking sensors to let you know you're going to crash, we have sensors to let us know to pay attention. And they're embarrassment, desperation, depression. There's something letting us know we have to become in tune and in touch with the vehicle and listen to the sensor. So change your perspective, you will change your outcome. Raise your standards. Your perspective determines your standards, right? Everybody wants six packs and everybody wants Lamborghinis. We don't get what we want. We get what we expect. That's it. It's that simple. And if you're sitting there today and you have this want to change your life and like build the body, whatever it may be, get super disgusted in yourself. Like, get disgusted. Like, tell yourself, like, I need to take serious action. Like, I am lazy. I'm out of shape. I'm doing damage to people around me. Like, you're either gonna break or you're gonna break through. You know what I mean? Like, and like that will tell you who you really are as an individual. And like, I think in today's day, like, this might sound super fucked up or whatever, but I don't care anymore. You're either strong enough or you're not. The world's too fucked. Like, if you break, you break. If I broke and died at that time in my life, that was my time. That's what I was meant to be. That's what I was meant to bring to the world. Because there's too many people out there using and abusing and taking advantage of motherfuckers. Like, you either are deserving or you're not. So like, I don't have like, and I can say this because I've been through it. If you break and you're passed on, I love you, I much respect you, but you weren't the person that was meant to be here. The world has a way of weeding out the weak. So man up, strengthen up. And that might be hard for people to hear, but it's what they need to hear. Too many people tell people what they want. They tell people, they're yes people. And I had a lot of them in my life, and they didn't do me or themselves any good. So I'm not going to sugarcoat shit. I'm going to keep it straight up.
Yeah.
Because that's what changes your life.
Yeah. Wow.
So boom.
All right, so 3 tips. And I feel like we discussed this yesterday.
I was thinking about it this morning. You want to say?
Are you only going to give us one?
So go ahead, tell him.
Okay, 3 tips for an abundant life, but he said he was only giving us one.
Yeah. So I'm like, I'm only going to give one but then this morning I'm thinking as I'm getting ready, I'm like, why would I do that? Why would I hold back, But it's because this one is so powerful, and if you just stuck with this one, everything will fucking change up for you. Everything. But I'm going to throw 2 other quick ones in there real quick, right? Because why not give more? But integrity. Integrity is huge. On a way to success, I don't know, this is abundance hacking, right? So people who are watching this and listening to this, they want to achieve crazy shit. In order to achieve crazy shit, you must be a little fucking crazy. Like, when people stop calling me crazy, like, people used to call me crazy, and I would get offended. Now it's like, if they don't call me crazy, I get offended. I'm like, bro, you're fucking up, bro. Like,
you're not going hard enough.
Yeah, it's the crazy people that make the crazy things. People are like, this shit's crazy. Like, the stuff we can do with this. You know what I mean? Like, it's the crazy thinking that achieves the crazy results. So, integrity. Like, along the way, you're gonna have to do some crazy shit. Do it with integrity. Do it with some internal integrity, because karma's a motherfucker. So integrity is super strong. Like, a lot of people can say a lot of things about me. They can call me cocky, because whatever they think. Like, they can call me whatever, but they cannot say that he's not a good man. They cannot say that he lied to me. They cannot say that he ever did me wrong. You know what I mean? Like, nobody can say anything like that. Maybe back when I was a loser, piece of shit drug addict, but I had paid tenfold, and karma will have a way of adjusting that and making sure you do. You either make it or you don't. Okay, then the other thing is action. Massive action, massive action. Quit being a little bitch. Take action. Take action on whatever. Take imperfect action. That's why people don't, that leads me into my 3rd thing, but that's why people don't take action, because they're scared. They're scared. they're scared. So ready? Someone asked me. Usually I'm like, quick. Like, I've only been stumped a few times in my life. Last night was one of them. I was thrown off. I'm just like standing there. I'm not really paying attention. And Matt asked me to like take off on something because I was already doing it other times. And everyone else is keeping their mouth shut because they're scared of what they're going to say. Because they're worried that it's not good enough, right? So be like, I'll just like fire off and stuff. Like, I literally believe like I'm elite in the world. Like, you got to think like that. God, I'm getting fired up at the end. And, so I'm getting so fired up, I forget what I was thinking. So massive action, and it leads into we don't take it because of our fears. And that's what I want to end with, that, you know, someone asked me, they said, what would you have done, not even like through your struggles, like from when you started to take your life back to where you are today, what would you have done differently? And that's where like I took like minutes. I said, you got to give me a few minutes, because that's super powerful. And I really want to think on this, and here it is. You ready? This is the secret. If you can master this, you're going to master every outcome of your life. I wish I would have acted on my fears sooner. I wish I would have acted on my fears sooner. I still have things that hold me back from acting on my fears, but I've literally trained my brain to, like, when I think of something crazy that's ridiculous and scares me, I do it. Like ripping my shirt off at 10x in front of 33,000 people. You know, like that story we talked about last night.
Yeah.
Like, we won't get into that now, but like that scared me, and that's ridiculous. And like people would be like, what is he doing? But it's like, hey, you got to do it, bro. You know, if it scares you, if it excites you, do it. Anything you don't do, you can probably bring back to that insecurity. And if you can learn to rewire your brain to when you think that, it's like just like having a negative thought. When I have a negative thought, my brain is triggered and conditioned. It's trained, just like my body's trained, to go, oh, bro, don't, you just limited yourself. You just put a sense of disbelief in yourself. Boom, it's quick, boom, it rewires, it flips. Same thing with an action that scares me. You should do a live, bro. No, don't do a live, bro, because no one's on right now at this time of day. Right? You come up with these justifiable bullshit things. They're so good. Yeah. You're like the best salesman ever. Yeah. You can sell yourself on anything, but you can't sell fucking, you know what I mean, to pay your bills. Like, come on. When you want something bad enough, you will figure it out. Yeah. You do it with yourself all the time. So, yeah, man, take action on shit. You're not gonna die. You're not gonna go to jail. That's how I bring it back and go, that's what I did that day. Like, that's how I bring it back to a sense of like, and a perspective. You're not going to die, you're not going to go to jail. The only thing that can happen is you're going to grow. That's it. You know? Every action, every thought, everything I do, I say, is this going to positively progress me in life, or is this going to have a potential to negatively regress me? And then I just try to pick 95 forwards and allow 5 instant gratifications to hold me. You know what I mean? Like, I'll overeat. Yesterday I ate a ton. You know, like I didn't track my numbers. Like I was like, I'm gonna enjoy and eat some damn pizza. You know what I mean? Like I went in. Like you just gotta be very selective in everything. So, and again, I can keep rolling and going, but I love you, girl. I hope I brought some value to people.
Tons of value.
And yeah. I had fun. You're the best.
So how can people find you online?
Perfect. Okay, so there's so many things out there today. Jesus Christ. So YouTube's super important to me because I don't have a presence there, and I'm just starting to. It's like I think it's super important. YouTube's the new TV, you know. Like, so I have to give people what they want. So if they want to, you know, consume entertainment, I'm going to develop entertainment. So that's something I'm working on. Like I'm going to entertain your ass, like entertain and train, because you know if you gotta, you have to understand what it is, and you have to be able to evolve and grow. This is the world we live in today. So I don't really have a whole lot on YouTube right now, but I uploaded some free workout videos that are part of my program, my movement, my package, and we put a lot of free things on there, and we're gonna start really diving into that. So it's just Phil McCarthy. Look for my face. Instagram, Phil McCarthy Fit. Boom. And then as far as like joining the movement and like working with me, you can reach me out on those platforms. Facebook is Phil McCarthy. But you can also just hit up KSP.fit. KSP stands for Key Sculpting Points. And that's this, you know, that's a whole nother conversation, you know? Yeah. See, like if you look at this, right, I could have brought, like this is straight up real fucking shit right here. I could have brought in my whole business. Like this is super passionate to me. I'm actually doing an injustice to you all by not focusing on that, because it'll bring you all those results that you desire. Like I had trouble with the ladies and confidence. Like when you build yourself into that person, that shit will come by default. But like I could be on here trying to just like secretly push that. Like I know how to sell on stage. I know how to do this, but like I just want to give to them. You know what I mean? Yeah. But in all that, in KSP, in my movement, in my group, and one-on-one coaching, like you get all this. And like my thing is, I'm young, and like Tony Robbins can shit on me. He's been like, but like I'll work as hard as Tony Robbins. Like, I'll answer the phone at 3 a.m. You know what I mean? Like, it's like, I just can't not. You know what I mean? So, if they want me, they'll find me.
I'll put all of his links in the show notes. But I thank you so much value, so much power, so many golden nuggets. So I know people have found a lot of value in this. And I just want to remind you guys to hold space for someone in your life to come to you. If they are struggling in silence, make sure you hold space for the people in your life that you love and care about, because you never know who is struggling in silence. And we have to be open to that, especially with social media. We have these highlight reels of everyone's lives looking perfect, but you never know who's struggling in silence. So
They're all struggling.
Reach out to your friends, reach out to your loved ones. It's really, really important. Thank you again for coming.
Thank you.
And until next time, love and light. Thank you for listening to the Abundance Hack Podcast. Don't forget to leave comments and questions. Remember, every time you subscribe or leave a 5-star rating, I do my happy dance.